Imagine a signal traveling across billions of miles of empty darkness. Not light. Not static. A deliberate echo from the edge of the solar system. Now imagine that this echo is not just data. Not just a fading relic from a dying machine. Imagine it as a warning. Voyager 2, humanity's silent explorer, has been drifting through the void for over 4 decades. Since its launch in 1977, it has crossed the outer planets, pierced the heliosphere, and sailed into the vast, incomprehensible ocean of interstellar space. It was meant to go quiet, to fade into obscurity as its systems slowly died one by one. And for years, that's exactly what happened. Instruments shut down. Power dwindled. It was becoming a ghost, a lonely sentinel whispering faintly from the abyss. But then, just when we thought it had nothing left to say, Voyager 2 spoke. And what it said was unlike anything we had ever heard before. This wasn't random static. It wasn't background noise. It was organized. Patterned. Structured in a way that seemed deliberate. And unsettling. Scientists monitoring the probe were stunned. Old sensors that had been presumed dead, long silent for more than 3 decades, suddenly came back online as if resurrected. Instruments began behaving oddly, not following the predictable decay of a failing spacecraft but acting with purpose, like they were being guided. Not by mission control. But by something else. Then came the antenna. Voyager's high-gain antenna, its only lifeline to Earth, suddenly reoriented itself. Not towards Earth. Not even towards any known star or celestial object. It locked with surgical precision onto an empty patch of space. A blank, silent void. As if answering a call we hadn't heard. And then came the transmission. It wasn't weak or fading. It wasn't corrupted with the usual interstellar noise. This was dense. Compressed. Eerily organized. A signal that behaved nothing like the ones Voyager was designed to send. At first, the team tried standard decryption methods. They assumed it was a glitch, maybe corrupted telemetry. But nothing worked. The structure was too complex, the entropy too low. This wasn't random cosmic interference. It was something else. That's when they brought in artificial intelligence. Running the signal through advanced neural networks revealed repeating patterns that looked shockingly familiar, structures resembling neural networks themselves. Self-correcting data loops. Recursive code. It wasn't telemetry. It wasn't environmental readings. It was closer to a message. And embedded in that message were harmonics. Ratios. Echoes of mathematical constants, Fibonacci sequences, golden ratios, harmonic intervals that mirrored the very structures of life and the universe itself. It suggested something mechanical, but also something more. It suggested intent. Renowned physicist James Benford, a SETI researcher, made a chilling observation. If an intelligent civilization wanted to communicate across impossible distances, this is exactly how they would do it. Self-correcting, energy-efficient, compressed data, immune to distortion by cosmic radiation. The signature of intelligence. But intelligence from where? The deeper the analysis went, the stranger things became. The transmission seemed to contain layered data streams, multiple channels running simultaneously, overlapping but not interfering. Like chords in a symphony. Some layers repeated like a heartbeat. Others shifted and mutated, almost as if they were responding to being observed. And then came the coordinates. Buried in the transmission was a small string of numerical sequences. At first, they seemed random. But when astrophysicists plotted them, disbelief swept through the room. They weren't numbers. They were spatial markers. Coordinates. And they pointed to an uncharted sector of the Kuiper Belt. A place with no known objects, no recorded or so we thought. When telescopes refocused on that region, anomalies began to surface. Stars behind it flickered unnaturally, as though something massive and invisible was distorting their light. Gravitational lensing suggested the presence of a structure so dark, so black, it absorbed nearly all radiation. NASA hesitated. Official statements described the signal as data corruption, but independent labs analyzing the raw feed confirmed what NASA would not. The transmission was too precise, too structured to be an accident. And then something happened that no one could dismiss. Voyager 2's long-dead backup systems came online for a few minutes. Systems that hadn't functioned in decades. They transmitted one final burst before going silent again. That burst was captured by several labs worldwide. When decoded, the signal carried an electromagnetic wave signature unlike anything natural in our solar system. It was eerily consistent with theoretical models of electromagnetic propulsion, the kind of drive envisioned for interstellar spacecraft. It was as if Voyager had stumbled across something artificial. Something that wasn't supposed to be seen. The AI analysis went further. Hidden within fragments of static was the outline of an object. A silhouette. Angular. Geometrically perfect. Too precise to be natural. Whether it was a derelict spacecraft, a station, or something else entirely, no one could say. But the shape was undeniable. Voyager hadn't just sent us data. It had shown us an image. And then, silence. Voyager 2 went dark. Possibly forever. But the story didn't end there. Astronomers began detecting faint pulses from the same region. At first, they dismissed them as quasars or background radiation. But the intervals were too precise, repeating in sets of 3. 3 pulses, 3 seconds apart, every 72 hours. Too perfect to be coincidence. Too deliberate to be ignored. It was a reply. Attention turned to Voyager 1, its twin. Though drifting in a different direction, analysts reprocessed its decades-old data with the same AI filters used on Voyager 2. And that's when they uncovered something chilling. Buried in logs from years earlier, Voyager 1 had detected an anomaly. A spike in deep space radiation paired with sharp deviations in its magnetic field. At the time, it was dismissed as noise. But with modern tools, the data revealed the same electromagnetic signature Voyager 2 had just sent. 2 probes. 2 directions. 2 encounters. 1 phenomenon. Had we ignored the first warning? The discovery sparked a global coalition. Astronomers pushed to redirect the James Webb Space Telescope and other powerful observatories to the coordinates transmitted by Voyager. What they found only deepened the mystery. Distorted light. Anomalous gravitational lensing. And in the shadows, a massive silhouette. Blacker than space itself. Featureless. Immense, not natural. Was it a beacon? A vessel? A remnant of something ancient? No one knew. But one thing was certain. Voyager had not stumbled into random noise. It had crossed into something else. Something vast. Something intelligent. The implications were staggering. Had we been contacted? Had Voyager been hijacked? Or had it simply passed through a region of space where the very fabric of reality behaved differently, where information itself was stored and transmitted like a cosmic operating system? Some theorists proposed that space itself is not empty but informational, a living web of data fields embedded in spacetime. A universal network. And Voyager 2 had brushed against it, like a needle across a record. Maybe it hadn't just detected a message. Maybe it had triggered one. And if that's true, then the last transmission of Voyager 2 wasn't a glitch. It wasn't a malfunction. It was a warning. Now the world waits. Telescopes continue to monitor the region. The pulses still come, steady, deliberate. No one knows what they mean. Are they a countdown? A message? A signal of arrival? What Voyager 2 uncovered changes not just how we see the probe, but how we see reality itself. Because for the first time in human history, the void has spoken back. And the message is clear: we were never alone. We just